Hello guys, it's Elsie again from Time to Invest. This is my video again after a while. I haven't made a video for quite some time. And the reason I haven't made a video for quite some time is because I don't want to keep repeating the same thing that we all been talking about, which is the collapse of the United States and the entire world. So there's no point keep talking about it. So all you have to do is just look at the evidences and you see what's happening. Um, it looks like we're going into um, at the start of this point. We actually starting the collapse is just already started. So um, between 2017 to 2018, it's got to happen this time. I don't see any other escape from this. And the printing, guys, be prepared because the printing machines are going to happen and they're going to start very, very soon. So just wanted to also let you guys know, if you don't know what to do, my channel is Time to Invest. It's pretty much preparation to what you should be doing before the event and after the event, what you can possibly do. If you're prepared, you have more chances of surviving, you have more chances of driving, and you can better succeed if you're prepared and you know what you're doing. So as we all know, the currency is pretty much gone. Um, I've put a couple of videos about the US debt clock and the Australian debt clock, and explaining, the probability of the dollar collapse. And I've got a couple of videos that explain that in detail. So, and the way you can protect yourself, if you don't know, um, is you have to go here. So you have to go here and you have to buy some gold and you have to buy some silver and you have to keep them somewhere to protect yourself, because once this currency collapses, uh, your cash is not going to mean anything. Your cash is not going to be value at all. The devaluation will happen. The same thing is happening in Venezuela. It's 700% inflation at the moment. Their money cannot buy anything. The GDP is minus 8%, which they hardly produce anything, and no one else accepts their money. Um, if you have the gold and silver, and I'll repeat, if you have the gold and silver, you could be trading that for the US dollar for the value that it is, and you could be driving yourself better than anyone else. If you were stuck on the Bula, which is the Venezuela currency, you would be in a lot of debt now and you will have no money, because all the money you've been saving in Bula, it wouldn't mean anything. So, you know, get yourself some gold, get yourself some silver. You can buy silver anywhere. You can buy silver on the address that I show you below. Gold Stackers in Australia. In Collins Street, they sell gold bars, gold, silver. They sell silver bars. They sell anything. Um, that's the way that you can protect yourself. So this is an ounce of silver, as you can see here, with a queen head in one side, and on the other side of the coin, trying to show you more closely, is got the kookaburra. So this coin is, it says on the coin it's $1 Australian, $1 Australian, and it's got the queen's head. It's got the queen's head print on it, and on the other side it's got it's from the year 2013. 1 ounce of silver, 9.999. Basically it's 999 silver, which is supposed to be, it's 100% silver. They don't put 100% because that's just the way they mint it. Um, if you want to know more about it, you can always Google um, Mike Maloney videos, and he's got the Secret Hidden Monies series, where you can learn, how the money works, how the system works, how the gold and silver works. You can also buy bars. I've been collecting those bars since 2009, and I've got some bars that I keep it with myself, and most of the bars I keep it in a secret location. Um, that this is just a bar. This is just a 10 ounce silver bar, as you can see. Um, at the moment, the silver is about 17, not 22 something. I can actually check the price right now live, how much the silver is going. And so that's what I advise you guys to do. So buy yourself some gold, buy yourself some silver, stack it, keep it. And okay, the price just come up live. So the price of silver is 22.24 for 1 ounce of silver. So that's the live. I stopped buying them when they're about 17 and when they're about 20. And they've gone all the way up. They've got all the way up to $49, and then they came all the way down to now it's $22, but they came all the way down to about $15 again, and I stopped buying them again. So I advise you to buy them as well, because there's a reason why the big central banks are buying gold and silver. One is to protect themselves, and the second one is to um, protect the value of the assets. Because if you put your cash into something that is devaluing, if you put your cash um, into a business or into shares, and the government is printing shares, uh, they are printing a big amount of dollar value to buy shares. So your shares ain't gonna mean anything. Your share is gonna lose value. It means nothing really. So that's why gold and silver is the real money. Mike Maloney keeps saying, you should buy myself gold. You should buy gold and silver. That's what you should be buying. That's what is money, and you should have it with you. And you should be keeping it and saving it more and more and more. You can also buy other currencies like um, I only bought a few copper. They weren't worth much. Those copper ones. As you can see, I've got 1 ounce American uh, 1 ounce of the American Liberty copper coin with the stamp say US. So I bought this one. Came straight from the US. So when I bought it was about they were about $2, $2-3, and I think they're still the same. So there's not really much value in the copper at the moment. So copper is what we use for electricity, cables, and so on and so on. So the copper it hasn't got much value as silver, um, but it's still something that I can trade. It's only $2 or $3. So even when you look at the Olympics, there's only three places, which is the gold medal, the silver medal for the second, and the copper for the third. Um, well, the copper is more a representative that you've been there, you've done that, you put some dedication into it. The silver is that you're the best. I mean, the gold is that you're the best of all of them, and the silver is that you're the second best. You know, and you're almost the best one. So, you know, um, just giving you some insight about it. So, what do you use the silver for? Good question. Why is the silver can be more valued than gold? Because silver is a precious metal, so silver cannot be uh, manipulated, cannot be made. the same as gold. So silver has to be found. People have to dig to find silver. They have to then refine the silver, and they also use silver for water purification. They use silver for mobile phones. All the cell phones that you see today have a percentage of silver in all of them. So silver is a good conductant of energy, energy, power energy, um, energy in general. So silver is a good conduct of energy. Silver is the only metal that it does not rust. It does not rust like gold. Doesn't get any rust on it. Doesn't matter how long you have it. Doesn't matter where you keep it. Does not get rusty, right? And silver is so cheap at the moment compared with the same qualities they have with gold. Is very cheap. For 1 ounce of gold, you can acquire 70 ounces of silver. That's unbelievable. Um, that's never been in the history of the world, kind. It never been before. It's only been 1 by 16, 1 to 16, 1 ounce of gold to 16 silver. Now it's 1 ounce of gold to 70 ounces of silver. 70, 70. So you can see the value of silver has diminished compared with gold, but the silver is more needed than gold. So we use more silver than gold. Gold we just storage. We make jewelry with it. We sell it. We keep it as a value of the money, right? You buy, you let it sit in a vault somewhere, or if you sell it, there's other business and companies that take it and melt it down into gold, into jewelry, and sell it. And people carry around their necks like a value. It's a value thing, because it's very rare to find it. But silver, it's also value, but it's running out, and there's not many of the silver around anymore. So, and they're very cheap, and the government and the people use silver in almost everything. So they use the silver on, like I said, water purification, conducting energy for mobile phones, cell phones, and all that. They use silver for power, solar panel. They use silver for various things, electric cars. Every electric cars that are now coming out, they have silver. All the mobile phones that are coming out, they have silver. All the technology that's coming out has silver. So how can all this stuff have silver, and silver still the cheapest one? Ratio between 1 ounce of gold to 70 of silver. That should be the other way around, shouldn't it? Because silver is more needed than gold. So that's why a lot of experts are saying that silver is going to take off, is going to be worth more than gold. And if that happens, you can profit and you can be very wealthy, but you have to be prepared. And if you look at the facts, it is true. I mean, silver is used everywhere. What do you do without silver? So if you run out of silver, you can't build devices anymore, the new devices. All the new technology devices, all the new cars, all the new mobile phones, solar panels, you know, they bring in over a lot of new technology, weaponries, to go to war. All that stuff have silver inside of it, you know. And some have tons of silver, not just a couple of ounces of silver. It have tons of silver on it. And that's why silver is so cheap at the moment, because if silver was that expensive like gold, they couldn't be building all this technology, because there was no company that could afford to build all this. A mobile phone would have cost Apple iPhone, for example, it would have cost you maybe 10 grand to earn it, because it's got too much silver on it. And you know that's just the way it is. And they probably wouldn't be able to even invent this kind of thing, because they will have to focus in which is more prioritized, which is more important, like a water purification, a solar panel, which is a survival kind of thing, than entertainment kind of thing, really. But that's just on my opinion. So I've done a few researches on gold and silver, and that's what I come up with. So let's move on, guys. Also, there's a new currency, which is the Bitcurrency, cryptocurrency. That it's now around, and a lot of people are buying it, and a lot of people are making profit, and a lot of people are using it. So I just want to give you guys my insight about the cryptocurrency. I'm a big fan of gold and silver. The reason being is because um, they have value. So I can hold them, I can keep them, I can exchange them, right? And the same silver or gold that I have here, I can take them anywhere in Europe or United States, and it's the same value. And the value is always there. It doesn't matter what happens. It always keeps the value. Now, the cryptocurrency is it's the same thing, but one thing that it doesn't have is its holding value. Um, the cryptocurrency cannot hold value, but the cryptocurrency is taken off at the moment. So I have ignored the cryptocurrency for some time. I've heard people talking about it. I've heard people buying them up when they around $2, $10, $300. I heard people talking about it, and I have ignored them. Now, I have done my own analysis, and the reason I ignored them is because I didn't know much about how they work and how to buy it and how to keep it and how to exchange and how to trade it. Now, this is what I've decided to do. I bought something that I know and I stick with it. But if I had bought the cryptocurrency, if I had bought the Bitcoin when it was around $2, I think it was sometime in 2009 at some time. I was crazy buying gold and silver, but people were talking about, oh, why don't you just buy Bitcoins? Bitcoins are going to be the way of the revolution. And to be honest, I never saw it that way. If I had the information that I now had, I would have been a millionaire, because if I had bought $2,000 of Bitcoin at $2, so I would have bought 1,000 of Bitcoins at $2. It would have cost me $2,000. Now in 2006, 2017, one Bitcoin is just over $2,000. I think it was 2,400. Yesterday was 2,450, and then 2,522, and now it's down to 2,400. So if I had bought that in 2009 and I have not done anything, just bought them and kept them there, now my 1,000 Bitcoin would be worth 2.5 million. Are you listening to what I'm saying? My Bitcoin, the 1,000 that I had bought, if I had bought them in 2011, now in 2017, the same 1,000 Bitcoin, if I had bought them and left them there and not listened to anyone and not believed to anyone, I would be worth $2.5 million, because that's what Bitcoin is now. Bitcoin is 2,400, 2,500 per coin, per one coin. So I'm looking and I'm sort of learning, and my eyes are open, and I look back to my videos and I look back to my friends and reflected, and I'm making my own thinking. Well, I'm not going to disregard the completely Bitcoin. There's other new currencies come up. They look exactly like Bitcoin. They also Ripple, Ethereum, Steam. There's a few currencies coming out now. Some of them are a couple of cents. Some are 32 cents, some are 40 cents, some are 2 cents, some are 17 cents, some are $10. If you just type cryptocurrencies capitalization, market capitalization, you get to see so many bitcoins out there. Bitcoin, I mean, you get to see a lot of cryptocurrencies, and you can take advantage of it. You don't have to buy and sit on it forever, because if you spend too much money on it, and then it goes down, if you buy them at $2,000, 2,500, and then next week or next month they go down to $1,500, you have lost $1,500. You know, which is quite a substantial amount of money to lose. But if you buy them when they small penny, if you buy them as a penny crypto, you have more chances of winning, because the more people come to find out about them, the better. The volume of the crypto is growing, and the more people are buying, the more it's growing. So you have better chances of um, succeed that way if you do it that way. So I'm looking back now and I'm thinking, well, I'm going to take the advantage of them. I will. And I'm going to be on anything. So say whatever you want to say, crypto or gold and silver, which one is better, which one is not better. Who gives a crap? What it comes down to is which one makes you the most money and which one is taking you out of a whole shit job, which one is taking you far. Well, gold and silver, I trust. Bitcoin, I don't trust, but I take advantage of it. Why not? It's there. Take advantage of it. So there's ways you can buy it. So I've been seeking some more information about seminars, Bitcoin seminars, and group seminars, and people that are out there doing it, people that know about it, people that have been doing it all the time, people have been doing it for years, and share my information with these kind of people. I want to talk to them. I want to get to know how they do it. I want to do it as well. I want to buy it. I want to sell it. I want to start with, small amount of money, $200-300, $500. I want to buy a few. I want to buy, sell it. I want to do trading with it, right? So you can easily buy a Bitcoin, go to a website called Poloniex, and you can actually trade the cryptocurrencies, which I really didn't know about it. The same way that you trade the pair currencies, the euro versus the yen, and the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen, or versus the New Zealand dollar. The US dollar, you can trade crypto as well. You can trade the Bitcoin versus the Ripple versus the Ethereum versus, you can trade them. So you can trade them, and guess what? The volatility is a lot higher than the currencies. The volatility on the crypto markets, if you go to Poloniex and you sign in on Poloniex and you see it and you learn with other people, it's a lot higher than the actually currency pairs. So there's an opportunity there. So, take advantage of it. I reserve my judgment in what I said about Bitcoin a while ago. I would not put all my eggs on the Bitcoin, but I look at Bitcoin and I think, well, Bitcoin and the new other currencies, the way we're moving to the future, it's a lot of technologies coming around. New cars are coming along. They're all electric cars. New devices coming along. They're all GPS control and drones and so and so. So does the currency. So does the Bitcoin. So does the Ripple. So does the way of paying and trading. Um, it's moving to another level, and we need to take the advantage of it. So in my channel, I want to wake up all of you who don't know, who are not sure, who are reserving, the judgment. Jump in with it. Who cares? Jump in with it. Jump in with a couple of bucks, learn, do a bit of trading, do a bit of winning, a bit of losing, a bit of winning, a bit of losing, and learn with it. Learn with it. I wouldn't advise you to put all your money. I won't give advices, but I wouldn't put all my money into it. I won't put all my eggs into it. Uh, I diversify. I've got diversification in most various products, gold, silver, and land, and things like that. Diversifying and crypto. Crypto is my other diversification. So why not? Properties, why not? So take the advantage of it, my friend. So don't look back and wondering, oh, what's going on here? Oh, I'm not going to do this because this is too dangerous. This is too risky. Risk is everywhere. You just have to minimize them. So if you buy a small amount, if you buy the crypto, and let's say is a new crypto, Steam, for example, is one that I've been starting to look into it, Steam. And my friend Jeff Berwick, he's got a website called The Dollar Vigilante, and he's the one actually who waked my eyes about the Bitcoin a couple of years ago. But I never actually listened to him because I wasn't too sure. I didn't know the products. I didn't know how it works. I didn't know how to buy and sell, and I didn't know how to hold it, how to keep on your wallets. It's a little bit complicated in that way, but I'm telling you, it's coming easier and easier, and they're making it easier and easier and easier for us to understand. And as they make it easier and easier, also the value is going ballistic because more people come to find out and more people choose to use the Bitcoins. Why would people choose to use Bitcoins? Why would you think people would use? Why? Why would they use Bitcoins? No, I want to know from you. Like, put your comments down the bottom. Why do you think people use Bitcoins? Why would people choose to use Bitcoins? Why would Bitcoin be so big? I'm not saying the gold and silver won't be big. I'm saying why would the Bitcoin so far has surpassed the gold? It's 2,400, 2,500. Gold still on 1,700, 1,700. Why the central banks only buying gold? They're buying Bitcoins as well, but they're buying more gold, right? So there's things that you have to think about it. And please, I really appreciate if you can put your comments on the bottom. I can read them. We can discuss them. I can throw my opinions, right? I give you a few examples why they want the Bitcoin. Um, the Bitcoin it's easy to move around. The Bitcoin is not controlled by the government, the central banks. The Bitcoin, you don't have to pay the middleman anything really. You can buy your Bitcoins in Australia and go and withdraw them in UK or overseas, and you don't have to pay the middle exchange guy here or the bank here, and it takes 28 days to clear, and you don't have to do that. You just buy them, take them 5 minutes if that, and you travel over to the UK, you travel over overseas, whatever way you want to go, China, whatever. When you get there, all you need to have is a laptop or a mobile phone, and you withdraw them into your account, and you spend it. That's it. Simple as that. Well, that's the good side of it. And the government is liking it. And the way I'm saying they're liking it is because they're not putting anything to stop it. They're not making any barriers to stop it. They don't like the fact that they haven't got a control of it, but they like the fact that they can take more advantage as well because they can move money faster. The velocity of money is much, much quicker than the normal currency. And there's no Federal Reserve there to control it. There's no banks there to control it. They do what they want to do. So it's giving people the freedom to do what they want to do. The only bad side, the only downside of Bitcoin is if you've got no energy, no power, no energy, and a blackout. In any situation, if you've got too many Bitcoins They're all in the computer. They all power up as a minor computer. They miner up bits. They have uh, computers all linked together, which all power up bits and bits and bits of energy, which creates the Bitcoin, right? And then when you buy them, you can store them on your phone, the ones that have been created. So they encrypt the currencies. They each one of them can encrypt um, something. They have the encrypted, you know, and one bit of them is $2,500. So if you spend $200, you only buy a portion of them. You only buy a tiny little portion. But with a tiny little portion, you can buy other small little currencies. You can buy a full one from other little currencies. So why isn't the government stopping? I want to know, please. Feel free, put your comments on the bottom. Why is the government hasn't put any stop into it? Apparently it's been created by this guy who is some Japanese dude. No one knows where he's always come from. Um, Create this currency who's dominating the globe at the moment. And the government isn't putting any stop into it. One, well, the government might be the inside who's actually created under some sort of name or whatever, who will be controlling. There could be a possibility one. Possibility two, um, this guy might be working with the government and they can control you as well, which is the other downside of crypto. Is everything you buy and you sell, it's registered. If we can't do transaction physically with gold and silver or cash money or coin money or goods, then we go into the internet world and we only use crypto, then everything is registered. So once you change into a normal currency and you pay for something, for clothes or for whatever, it's all registered. That you pay at such and such time, you bought this, you bought that, which is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But why would the government want to know everything you buy, everything you sell? You know? And the way that the crypto is moving along, you probably won't even be able to know anything because it's pretty much the black currency, really. Um, a lot of they're trying to stop the corruption by not printing big amount of cash and things like that. But the Bitcoin is taking over. The Bitcoin now, the big deal is they can move big amount of money, trillions of dollars, billions of dollars if they want, um, into Bitcoin. Obviously, they don't move all in one go. They move a couple of $1 million and a couple of, maybe even $1 billion, make the currency go all the way up. And then once they're in a different country, they make payments to that, to companies and to, in crypto and in Bitcoins. And no worries, no one would know. So it's a good and it's bad, but you have to look into it. How is that going to help you? How are you going to take the advantage of it for your own good? So if you look into it, yeah, to your advantage, buy it to your advantage, use it to your advantage, make the money to your advantage, and move on. Who cares if he's going to crash? Who cares if he's going to take, you know, if it happens, it happens. You want it. If it doesn't happen, doesn't really matter. You have nothing to lose, because you ain't other stuff. So that's the way I look at it. I've looked a couple of videos of Robert Kiyosaki and Doc Casey and Mark Faber and Peter Schiff and, and on and on. Not all of them agree with it, but one thing that they're doing is they're taking advantage of it. And some are not telling you, you know, because it's up to you, really. It's up to you to do your own due diligence. It's up to you to do your own research. And it's up to you to increase your wealth the way you can. But one thing I'll say is I wouldn't put all my eggs in the Bitcoin. I would not do that. And I would not tell anyone to do that. Put all my eggs in the Bitcoin. I think they'll be very foolish to do that. But I will buy a small little cryptos. Yes, I'll buy them. I'll buy the new ones. The new cryptocurrencies, I will buy them. Absolutely. You know? And every month, if I can put in, or I'll try to put in, $200, $100 to $200 into crypto and buy a couple of hundred ones and leave it there. You know? Also, I tried to buy this. This one is 20 ounces of silver. Just try to buy them. If you can buy them, you know, every month, every time you get paid, buy one of those bars. They're only worth about 250. Those ones, they're 250. This one is about 25 bucks. 22, 23, 25 bucks, around that. You got not much to lose. Your money's there. You can always go back to the bully and say, hey, I would like to sell some of my bars. I need some cash. They gladly take it off you. They buy it off you and they shake your hand and they sell it to somebody else for more money. How great is that? Now, if gold and silver had no value whatsoever, then why would they be selling it? Why would they be buying off you? Why would there be a bully in there? Doesn't make sense. Why would people be digging up big holes and looking for it for thousands of years? Wouldn't make sense. So in conclusion, guys, I stayed too long in this video, so I was just going for my free thinking and free speech, and we all have different opinions. So I'll let you know what I'm thinking and what I'm doing. And if you have any comments or you have any questions, please put your comments down the bottom and I'll try to answer them the best way I can. Alright, everyone. I appreciate if you had watched my full video beginning to the end. And keep on buying assets and take care. And I'll see you on the winning side. See you guys. Ciao.